Alright, what's up? I'm just gonna be showcasing my Brigade deck profile that I use to grind to platinum with. So we'll just head over to the duel. I'm plat 4 now. And if you look at my match history here, with this deck, let's see here. So I went on a 25, or I think it was like a 25 win streak. I think up to this guy Mega Junior, it was 22, and then I won 3 more, so I got to 25 wins to hit platinum. And then I lost one here, and then I went on another 5 win streak in platinum. And it's been this deck profile has actually been pretty good. I've been playing Brigade in remote duels since I started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! About a year ago, so I'm very familiar with the deck, and I would consider myself a pretty good pilot of the deck. It's like one of the few competitive decks that I've actually played. But yeah, let's look at the deck profile here. Run 40 in the main, and yeah, this is what I had. So as far as the ratios go for the main Tri-Monsters, I went 3 Nerval, 3 Kit, 3 Fractal, and then 2 Karis. Yeah, it's pretty standard, all the Tri-Brigades. You don't really need 3 Karis. Yeah, you just don't need... You really only go through 2. Sometimes you would need the 3rd one, but if you're playing optimally, you don't need the 3rd one. I do play Rescue Cat, so I played 2 Rescue Cat. I think I had 3 before I started to get the Zoo Engine in. But yeah, so I had 2 Rescue Cat, and then I played 2 Thoroughblades. You could use any zoos you want. I just use the Thoroughblade because if you draw 1, or if you draw 2, you could just mill 1 and recycle a card and get something engraved. But you could do Ram or Whiptail. It's really up to you. So yeah, I do play Rescue Cat. I do play zoos. They're broken, so why not play them? 2 Tenki. I don't like playing 3 Tenki. Even like in the TCG when we had 3 Tenki, I was thinking about running 2, because you don't need that many starters. I think the way the math works out is like you know, like 13 hand traps and 11, like 9 or 10 starters. You're gonna see what you need. And it's like starters go. Nerval's like a pseudo starter. Kit's a starter. Fractal is a starter, so that's 9, or any of the Tri-Brigades are pretty much starters. So that's 9, 11, 13 starter cards. I mean, then again, these are like pseudo starters, but actually Kit you could consider it a starter, so that's 10 starters. And then Karas plus any Tri-Brigade is pretty much will get your combos rolling. As far as hand traps go, play 3 Maxi because it's Maxi, why not? I play 2 Gamma. Gamma's worked out pretty well. A lot of people don't really play around Gamma in this game just because they're not really familiar with it, so you can resolve Gamma a lot. It synchronizes really well with the Cat and the Fractal. But yeah, it also it'll stop Ash, it'll stop, if you have Maxi Gamma going second, even if they have Ash, you're gonna resolve it. It basically acts as like a call by or a cross out, on your opponent's turn if you're going second. I kind of built this deck with the assumption that you're gonna go second, because if you go first, obviously you're just going to make the same plays, but you want to have a lot of going second cards in this game, because you only play 1 game, so if you go second and your whole deck is going first cards, you're boned, you're going to lose. Yeah, so I take a lot of hand traps, so So it's 3, 5, 8, Ash's Ash. You gotta, it hits so many things. So you just have to have it. I played 2 Nibiru. Honestly, there's not a whole lot of combos, spammy decks, but in the case that you do run into one and you don't have Nibiru, you're losing that game. If you don't stop them with your hand traps here, and they just keep playing, you're gonna lose. Nibiru's OP. It'll shut down your opponent. Have I actually used Nibiru? No. But I think part of that is there's just a lot of nostalgia players, so they're just like normal summon once and then just pass turn. So that's where you get a lot of those like easy wins. I do main deck 3 Twin Twisters because of the nostalgia players. A lot of them will be running Mirror Force, Sakuretsu Armor, Scrap Iron Scarecrow, whatever cards. So just having back row removal is super good in this game. There's a lot of Eldritch running around, so having Twin Twisters is good. It's okay against Invoked Shadal. Yeah, I don't know. I wish I didn't have to run Twin Twisters, because then I could just put more like better cards in my deck. I don't know. I could run like 3 Droplet, 3 Imperm, and an extra Crossout or extra Call By. But you only get 1 game, so you have to prepare for back row. If you don't prepare for back row, and there's a lot of Eldritch players running around, they'll just grind you down. It really comes in clutch when you need it. Like, if you can't play, this deck really can't play around Mirror Force, unless you have Mirage, but it is what it is. But yeah, I use this to snipe out 2 2 skill drains one game against an Eldritch player. He said 2 skill drains. I just Twin Twisted both of them. I play 1 Call By, 1 Crossout. I would probably play more if I wanted to run 41. I'd probably just add a second Crossout or a second Call By, because I think it's a little bit better. Crossout's only good in the mirror, or until the meta gets more defined. So yeah, Crossout's, it's okay. I think it'll be better in the future. Play Droplet. You need Droplet if you're going against heavy combo decks going second, and you don't manage to stop them with whatever hand traps you draw. It's always a good fallback plan. Against Stridetron, this is your only out to a full board. You can't play past Herald or Herald or both Herald's Perfection and Ultimateness without Droplet. I've had some tough runs in remote duels just not having Droplet or having Dark Ruler. Yeah, I prefer Droplet over Dark Ruler, just so you can OTK the same turn. I played 2 Imperms. I originally ran Chalice, but I think Chalice is better once DPE comes in the format, because then you could just normal summon, battle phase, Chalice in the damage step, negate the DPE, and then you can play through after that. And then I run 2 Revolts. I don't play 3. I think 2 is pretty good. It's pretty bad to open Revolt if you're going second, because it's just a dead card. You're not going to be able to play Revolt. Most games only take 2 turns, so if you have the Revolt in your hand going second, it's pretty bad. It's nice to see it if you go first. I mean, you just don't have to go into Bear Broom, so you could hold more hand traps. As far as the extra deck goes, I play Naturia Beast, so that's why I have the main deck X-Saber. There's a lot of Sky Striker running around the format currently. Everyone loves their waifu decks, so Naturia Beast just says I win the game. So normal summon Rescue Cat, go into Nat Beast, negate their entire hand, and then you win the game. I'm surprised Dryden's at 1. Dryden's really strong. I just play the smallest Zodiac package you can play. Yeah, so Dryden Pass isn't that bad if you open up a zoo and nothing else. Borbo, just to go into the Zeus. Chak 9. If you have a zoo in grave already, actually, I think you could do, if you're going second, it's like weird scenarios. Where you're going second, you could go Thoroughblade, go into, let's say you can't go into Zeus for whatever reason. You have Thoroughblade, go into Dryden, pop their card, overlay Chak 9, and then you detach to summon the Thoroughblade back. You can link into Farighi and get your Tri-Brigade play started. Then you got the Zeus. Zeus is OP. You can summon a 2 board wipe Zeus or format Zeus really easily. You just summon your zoo. You have 4. You get 2 Thoroughblades, 2 Tenkies. It's not that difficult to understand. Mirage, this card's OP. It gets your play started if you brick. If you have Kid or Nerval and you have Mirage in hand, you're good to go. Double Dragon Lords, very strong. It's so good to have a bounce. You get a lot of free advantage off of it. Tenki becomes a free bounce because you can just send it off of the Double Dragon Lords. You can also send Double Dragon Lords to bounce to bounce the card. You don't have to send something. Yeah, it's just a bounce. It comes up a lot. Play 1 Farighi. I would love to play 2. There's no space, so I play 1. I guess there technically is space. You can have 2 Rugals and play 2 Farighis, but you really don't go through both of these and need more if you're playing pretty well. If you go into the grind game, your end board like turns 3 or 4 is going to be like a Rugal Shureg. So having multiple Rugals is actually really good. Some people like to play the Doom Eagle for the access code. I mean, it's fine, but Doom Eagle doesn't really do much for you. Outside of like you could DD Crow a card, and just shuffle something back. But I like having 2 Rugals. This guy looks cool, anyways. It looks way cooler than Doom Eagle. Play the Appaloosa. It's pretty easy to make a 3 negate Appaloosa. And then access code goes for the OTK and then 2 Shureg. If you can't have Zeus or the Z package, I would play 3 Shureg and then a second Farighi and then maybe a second Bear Broom or just whatever else. Or even the Psyframe Omega for the Gammas. Because sometimes, well, in this deck, I don't really have anything to make to do with Gamma. So after you summon it, it just kind of, you have to know what zones to put him in so that you don't like block yourself. Because I don't really run anything to get rid of the Gamma, except for like access code and Appaloosa. Yeah, but you could go like, let's say you like did something and you got Gamma, you summon Cat. You can make a format Appaloosa, which is pretty intense. And then put like a Karas into your hand after, and if you have like a beast in hand, you can play your Tri-Brigade stuff. But yeah, that's kind of like the basic, like overall thing with the deck. Play a lot of hand traps, a lot of going second cards, just because of the randomness of playing one game. Sorry, I just coughed there. I don't have COVID. Yeah, throat's just super dry. But yeah, just a lot of, I don't know, I'm playing a lot of Brigade. This is kind of the list that I feel like works really well, especially in this format. It kind of has an answer to everything. There's no like one deck where you don't have an answer to it. But we'll see. The game's only been out for a few days, so not everybody has every card they want. Yeah, I think as the meta gets more defined, we'll see variations of stuff. I'm thinking about playing more hand, maybe not more hand, maybe different. I'm gonna try with like different hand traps, but I think I have, how many hand traps I have? 6, 8, 10, 12 hand traps, plus 4 or 5 going second cards. That's like 17. So no matter, like half your deck is literally just cards to stop your opponent. And there's only 2 bricks. There's the driver and the X-Saber. But I don't know. I could just swap out the gammas for other hand traps. That way I just turn the brick down to 1. Just make it as consistent as possible, but then you kind of lose out on the value that gamma has. It's just a really good way to insulate your plays to get your stuff going, because pretty much everything runs through Tanky, Fractal, and Cat at the end of the day. So making sure that those cards are protected. I might experiment with running like I don't know about maybe 2 Twin Twisters and then 2 Call Buys, or I might run one Zoo and then just have it be able to search it off of a Tanky. But yeah, this is what I've been rocking with up until now, and I hit plat with different variations of this. Like I would swap out like Chalice for some of these cards, but for the most part everything has really stayed the same. I think, yeah, your end board typically, depending on your hand, would just be like Nat Beast, Rugal, Double Dragon Lords of the Revolt set, or you would end with Appaloosa for 3, Revolt set, and a Nat Beast, or a Double Dragon Lords. Or you go Rugal, Nat Beast, Revolt, with hand traps. Everything really depends on what's in your hand. I mean, we can look at, just show you how resilient this deck, we can look at a couple different replays here. Let's see. This first one we'll look at is this one's pretty, this is a mirror match here. Let me get some water while it's loading. Alright. Then I can kind of walk you through my thought process here. So I'm going first. I was going second, actually. So he summons the kit. I dropped Maxi there. I thought about it. I was like, summon the kit. I can drop Maxi. If he doesn't have Gamma, he can't. Or if he has Gamma, he can't use it. If he has the out, he has the out. It doesn't matter if I wait for. I debated on waiting for the Revolt, for him to make a Revolt play, and just make Bear Broom. But I could draw 4 cards, but if you think about it, if he has the out to Max C, it doesn't matter if I wait for the Revolt, because if he has an Ash, or if he has Cross Out, or Call By, he's gonna use it no matter what. It doesn't matter what turn it is. So better I just drop it now and see what he has. So he had the Cross Out, so it's whatever. So Maxi gets negated. He banishes his own. Goes into an Mirage. So he goes kit, dump, dump Nerval, adds the Fractal. So he adds the Fractal. That homes me, he doesn't have another beast in his hand. If he did, he would have added Karas. So we know that these other 3 cards are hand traps. So you just kind of got to play around that. Or maybe he already has the Revolt and he's using the Fractal to get more cards in grave. But he sets one and pass. And so that tells me that's not Revolt. Because if he had Revolt, he would have used Fractal to put 4 in grave. So that he can make a sure egg. So I'm like, okay, so he's got... maybe he has an Ash here, so we'll just bait it out. If he's a good Tri-Brigade player, he'll just hit the Fractal. You can't really do much with 1 in grave. End up being a second cross out. So, that sucks. Oh well. Alright, so now I'm thinking, uh-oh. If he's got an Ash, that's not good for me. Plays Maxi. That's bad. Bad news. Good news is, I'm ballsy. So I'm thinking, alright, you know what? If I let him get to his next turn, I'm gonna lose anyways. So let's just see if we could push through this Maxi and just go for game. Only thing that stops you at this point is if he draws like a Veiler or a Nibiru. But odds are he doesn't have those in his deck. So, let's see here. So I go... How do I cross this here? So I went... How do I pull the dual lock here? Alright, so I went... Sure, how do I get that out? I went... So I made Almirage. Oh, I went Rescue Cat to make the Farrajeet. Let him draw whatever. If he has it, he has it. I go Farrajeet, special my kit from hand. Banish 4 for sure egg. I shouldn't have done that. If he's running Gamma and I banish his Almirage, that just gives him access to. It gives him access to Gamma. It gives him access to Imperm. That's it. But those things can ruin my day. So I shouldn't have done that. It gives him access to so many cards that could just end my turn. And then, so I did that, and then I went, so I banish, summon Link 2 for Bear Broom, because I have 3 cards in hand. I could discard, use Bear Broom's second effect, discard 2, to try and push her game. They play. Let's draw another droplet. Okay. So discard 2. As far as the discards, I just decided to discard Karas. Keep the Revolt in hand, because you know, what if I do have to go into the next turn? I'll keep the Revolt. Maybe it might come in handy. Now I'm gonna make a Rubal. Alright, so I just make a second sure egg, and then I hit for game here. Look at that. He has like 10 cards in his hand. How many cards do he have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards in hand. Literally nothing that can stop this. That sucks. Ended up winning that one. I think this was like one of my gold games to get into plat. Cause I went from like gold 4 to plat like instantly. It was weird. This is a fun one here. So this is like the Nat Beast here. So let's see what I do here. I'm trying to remember what I was thinking. So Yeah, Fractal. I now have the Gamma in hand, so Fractal's gonna go off no matter what hand trap he plays here. So just Fractal, dump Kick, dump Nerval. We'll go Keras. So always discard the Zoo. If you're going first, you don't need the Zoo. So, and it puts 4 in grave, so you can make your Sure Egg. And then you can keep your second Tri-Brigade for your Fair G play. Just to get more stuff on board. So we make the Sure Egg. Link 2. Make Fair G. Sure, I got 4 banished, so Sure can put a Rescue Can in my hand. Fair G. So, use Fair G here. If they have a Veiler, that's okay. We'll just summon Nerval. So, Synchro Summon here. I just go 5. I still have my normal summons, so I could do this. I can get away with this. Do 4, Link into Appaloosa. There's no time. It's just so easy. This is free. Alright, so here we go. We got Nat Beast, negates every spell in his hand. Appaloosa negates every monster. Where you need to play traps on your on your first turn. And if all goes wrong, I think I keep the Nibiru here. I cycle the Gamma back. Draw Driver. Okay, that's terrible. Get a Revolt, put the Gamma back. So here we have our 3 material Appaloosa. That gets negated by like Imperm, whatever. We got our Imperial Order here. And then we have a Banish off of the Sure Egg I can summon. And if somehow he beats all of it, we'll just go to a Nibiru play. And then I have follow-up for next turn. And if he can push through that, he deserves to win. So he's playing Strikers. Nat Beast, negate. And then he goes, Widowinker. Nat Beast is not once per chain, so I can keep negating every spell. So he plays Widowinker, and then he plays Shark Cannon. And then I negate again. And this poor guy, he just gets 3 spells negated. And so, this is like, it's a really bad misplay here. I just, like, he had an Imperm. Why would he just not lead with the Imperm? I'm guessing what ended up happening was he didn't realize how chains resolve. Because you have to play every card, and then at the end everything goes to the grave. So you can't actually activate Infinite Impermanence as a Chain Link 2 if you're playing a spell. Because then you technically have a face-up, if you have a face-up card. Let's see. Yeah, if you control no cards. Since technically they're on the field, he controls cards. So, fine, he negates my Appaloosa. I still have my Revolt here. So he summons Ray, makes a Shizuku. I was debating whether or not I should just hit the Ray, but Ray's quick effect, so it would just go off first. So I just waited for her to make, or for this person to make their first striker. So then that puts him on 1 card in hand, and then he just scoops there. Cause what are you gonna do after that? So yeah, so that's a little bit of either one. So I don't know if you have any questions about the deck. Just leave them in the comments below. I'm not really sure how I'm gonna post this. I'll probably just leave it on my YouTube for a while. But yeah, if you have any questions for like ratios or like what hand traps to run, if you can't, obviously this is a lot of ultra rare cards. So if you wasted all your money crafting Blue Eyes and Dark Magician cards, this can look pretty expensive. But I went into this game with the mindset of I'm gonna play Tri Brigade. It's a safe bet. I wasn't sure what format it was gonna stick in, but yeah, I guess when new cards come out, I'll probably get rid of the twins and the maybe the Nibiru's or the droplets for the Destiny Hero package. But yeah, we'll see. Anyways, yeah, leave the questions in the comments, and I'll answer them. You can catch me streaming on I stream this game on Twitch. I'm gonna try. I probably play it every night, to be honest. So yeah, it'll be on my Twitch. I might stream on YouTube sometimes. We'll see. But yeah, peace out.